Welcome to part 3 of Let's Play Seas of Blood by Andrew Chapman. At the end of the last part, I was on paragraph 374. Let's reread this paragraph as a reminder. Okay, having killed the Krell, you search its cave until you find for what you were looking, the skull of salt. Returning to the sea sprites with their prize, you are rewarded with a blessing to make your journey a rapid one. Whenever you are instructed by the book to roll 3 dice against your crew strength, you need only roll 2 dice. I've already noted that. You surface, climb back on board the Banshee and set sail. Which way will you go? South towards Marad, turn to 191, or southwest out into the inland sea towards the shoals of Trista, turn to 66. Okay, we're going to go towards the shoals of Trista and turn to 66. Here we are. Okay, the Banshee ploughs on towards the shoals of Trista. Roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, add 4 days to your log. If the result is equal to or greater than your crew strength, add 5 days to your log. Okay, so we need to roll only 2 dice. So let's do that. Okay, what's my crew strength again? It's 8. Oh yeah. Okay, need this to be less than 8. Which it wasn't. Great. Okay, so we have to add 5 days to our log. That puts it up to 27. Okay, let's read on. As you near the treacherous reefs off the island of Trista, a vicious squall starts up from the north and looks as if it might turn into a major storm. Will you run with the storm by heading south, turn to 103, or tack north? Is that tack? Yeah. Or tack north into the wind to sit out the foul weather, turn to 142. Okay, we are going to tack north into the wind to sit out the foul weather and turn to 142. Okay, here we are. You beat into the wind. Roll 1 die. If the result is 1, 2 or 3, add 2 days to your log. If the result is 4, 5 or 6, add 3 days to your log. If your log is now an even number, turn to 255. If your log is an odd number, turn to 212. Okay, so we want a 1, 2 or 3, and we get a 6. Great. Okay, so that means we add on 3 days. So that puts us up to an even 30, which is an even number. So we have an even number on our log, and that means we are turning to 255. The storm blows over, leaving the skies clear and the seas calm. While you are bringing down the storm gear and preparing the Banshee for fair weather sailing, your lookout spots the distinctive sails and battle banner of a Kishian warship to the north and closing fast. Your only hope of escape is to attempt to navigate through the shoals of Trista, which lie only a short distance to the south. Will you take this course, turn to 119, or stand and fight, turn to 107? There we go. Okay, we are going to stand and fight and turn to 107. Here we go. The warship bears down quickly, intent on attacking. When it is close, the marines on deck cast grapples which seize the Banshee and draw it closer. The battle begins. Kishian warship, strike 10, strength 8. If you want to escape, remember the penalty and turn to 332. If you fight on and succeed in defeating the warship, turn to 287. Okay, so Kishian warship 10-8. Okay, there we go. So strike 10. What was the other one? And 8. Strength. was an 8. Here we go. Okay, how do we do this again? So, okay, so if I win, it gets 2 off, and if, yeah, it gets my crew strength down by 2, doesn't it? Yeah, that's how this works. Okay, but it's more or less the same as the other thing. Okay, so 10, 8, mine is 12. So, yeah, I'm at an advantage, but famous last words, of course. Okay, so rolling for me first, 2 dice, and then for him, and then for, actually, is it for me or for him first? I forget. 107 I'm on. Right, missed it. Okay, yeah, so it's them first. Okay, right. Okay. Oakley dokley. Right. Okay. Right. Let's get going. Okay. So 10 plus 8 is 18. I get 20. So 18 to 20. There we go. That means I take 2 off their strength. There we go. Good. Okay, next. Okay, 8 plus 5 is 13. I get 19. So 13 to 19. There we go. That puts them down to 4. Okay. 8 plus 5 is 13. I get 22. So 13 to 22. Puts them down to 2. 8 plus 7 is 15. I get 19. So 15 to 19. And that's the end of the Kishian warship. That's good. So off they go. Get rid of the annoying buzzing because it's dreadfully irritating. Go away. There we go. Right, where was I? Okay. We defeated the warship, so we're turning to 287. The Kishian Marines are routed and their vessels set afire. You don't have much time in which to loot the blazing ship, so you concentrate mainly on collecting slaves among the survivors of the Marines. There aren't many, but you managed to find 11 that will be worth selling. Add them to your booty. Don't know why booty is capitalised, but it is. So that's another 11, so that puts us up to 23 slaves. But are they going to shake that booty? That's what I want to know. Anyway, sorry, I have to say that. Sorry. Anyway, will you sail around the shoals to the island of Trista, 10 to 164, or head southwest towards either Kish, 10 to 223, or the Rock, 10 to 204, or travel southeast towards the Channel of Goth, 10 to 191? Okay, we are going to go to Kish and turn to 223. Roll 3 dice. If the result is less than your crew strength, add 5 days to your log. If the result is equal to or greater than your crew strength, add 6 days to your log. Okay, so we only use 2 dice. Crew strength is still 8, so rolling 2 dice, and yep. Yes, it was less than 8. Good. So we only add 5 days, which is still quite substantial to be honest, but it's better than 6 days. Anyways, that puts us up to 35. Brilliant. Where am I? Oh yeah. As you approach the city of Kish, numerous sightings of heavily armed but sluggish war galleys on the horizon impress upon you the foolishness of a raid on the city. Instead, you steer towards the Kish Isthmus, a wide peninsula of land protected by sheer, unbroken cliffs. These cliffs deter large-scale invasions into the rich lands beyond, but a small force such as you and your crew might be able to scale them to conduct a lightning raid inland. Dropping anchor when you reach this isthmus, you take your crew on a long and dangerous climb up the cliffs. Roll 2 dice. If the result is less than your skill, turn to 263. If the result is equal to or greater than your skill, turn to 242. Okay, so what's our skill? 12. Okay, roll 2 dice, and it was 8, which is less than or equal to our skill. So, less than our skill, so we're turning to 263. Where am I? There we are. Okay, you reach the top of the cliffs and look across the wide tablelands of the Kish Isthmus, dotted with fields, settlements and forests. A few miles away is a small town. Will you approach this via the cover of a nearby forest, turn to 353, or by a stealthy march through the wide cornfields that lie between the cliffs and the town, turn to 328. Okay, we are going to do a stealthy march through the wide cornfields that lie between the cliffs and the town, and turn to 328. Here we are. Okay, flitting like dark pack walls through the high golden ears of corn, you advance towards the Kishian town. Test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 47. If you're unlucky, turn to 186. Okay, what's our luck? It's 12. Well, that's lucky, isn't it? Okay, so testing our luck, we need this to be less than or equal to 12, which it's guaranteed to be. Okay, so get rid of the buzzing, if there were any, which for some reason there wasn't. That's a 6, but we have to use a luck point, so we're down to 11 now. Okay, so we were lucky and we're turning to 47. When you reach the outskirts of the Kishian town, you see that there are no regular soldiers of any kind. Having lined your men up under cover, you give the order to charge. With a mighty roar, they sweep forward into the unprepared settlement, the town militia giving only piecemeal resistance. Town militia, strike 6, strength 10. If you win, turn to 80. Okay, so we're fighting 610 town militia. Skill 10, no, 8. I've forgotten it already. Okay, 6, 10, there we go. I didn't think it was that big. Anyway, 6 and 10. And we're off. Okay, roll for them. It's not skill, is it? It's strike. I keep forgetting that. And this is strength. There we go. Okay, so 6 plus 7 is 13. I get 21. So 13 to 21. Puts them down to 8. 6 plus 12 is 18. I get 22. So 18 to 22. Puts them down to 6. 6 plus 9 is 15. I get 21. So 15 to 21. Puts them down to 4. Next, 6 plus 10 is 16. I get 19. So 16 to 19. Puts them down to 2. And then 6 plus 12 is 18. I get 22. So 18 to 22. That puts them down to 0. Good. And that's the end of the town militia. Okay, remove the buzzing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we won and we're turning to 80. Here we are. No, wrong one. There we go. With the militia defeated and most of the townsfolk fled. With the militia defeated, that doesn't make any sense. Most of the townsfolk, that implies flee is a. Yeah, there's sort of like the passive voice there, that they are fled. Does that make sense? The townsfolk are fled. I don't like that. I'll rephrase it. With the militia defeated, and the fact that most of the townsfolk have fled into the neighbouring countryside, you proceed straight to the local courts to seize the public assets. Marching boldly through the chaotic mess that your men have made of the building's interior, you come to the vaults, whose locks your pirates have just crowbarred free. When you open the massive iron doors, a ferocious black Sith orb lunges out and attacks. You fight this terrible beast alone. Sith orb, skill 10, stamina 10. If you defeat it, turn to 97. Okay. Okay, Sith orb. And it's 10, 10. Okay, my skill is 12. Because I had lucky dice rolls, I think. Yep. And off we go. So we're fighting it alone. 10 plus 2 is 12. I get 19. So 12 to 19. Whoops. Oopsie daisy. Right, puts it down to 8, whatever a Sith orb is. 10 plus 9 is 19. I get 22. So 19 to 22. 10 plus 4 is 14. I get 22. So 14 to 22. Puts it down to 4. 10 plus 7 is 17. I get 20. 17 to 20. Puts it down to 2. Don't know why I said... No, that should be 20. Yeah, puts it down to 2. And then 10 plus 10 is 20. I get 18. So 20 to 18, and it hurts me. Use some stamina points. Puts me down to 18. 10 plus 6 is 16. I get 20. 16 to 20. Puts it down to 0. There we go. And the Sith orb is dead. Whatever it is, don't know. Who cares? Okay, that's the end of that. Remove the buzzing, and we're turning to 97. Okay, stepping past the body of the orb, you enter the vault where you find 130 gold pieces. Add this to your booty after I've shaken it. Okay. 130, wasn't it? That puts me up to 465. Yep. 465. Will you let your men continue with their sacking of the town, turn to 141, or beat a hasty retreat to the Banshee, turn to 113? We are going to beat a hasty retreat to the Banshee and turn to 113. Returning to the Banshee, will you set sail east to take the channel of Goth into the southern sea, turn to 246, or enter this ocean via the rock, turn to 27? We are going to... We're going to enter this ocean via the rock and turn to 27. Yeah, turn to 27. Okay, add 2 days to your log. That puts me up to 37 on the log. The rock is an island formed by a single enormous mountain jutting out of the ocean. Its peak is almost continually shrouded in cloud. I don't like that. Continually really means frequently, whereas continuously means on and on without stopping. So I think they mean continuously. So I'm going to say that again. Its peak is almost continuously shrouded in cloud, while the lower slopes are covered with dense forests. It is named after a species of gigantic bird which sometimes uses the higher slopes for nesting. Test your luck. If you're lucky, turn to 67. If you're unlucky, turn to 92. Okay, luck is 11. So, yeah, we got less than or equal to 11. But we use a luck point, so we're down to 10 luck points now. But we were lucky. Yeah, we were lucky. Okay. So, whoops, wrong one. So we're turning to 67. While you are sailing past the island, the ship suddenly falls into a very dark and sharply defined patch of shade. Looking up, you see an enormous bird, somewhat like a buzzard, only several hundred times bigger. It circles above the Banshee a couple of times, then descends in a steep dive to attack. Your crew take up weapons to defend themselves. Rock, strike 10, strength 4. If your crew defeat it, turn to 117. Okay, so rock, strike 10, strength 4. Okay, so strike 10. And strength 4. Okay, so we're rolling for him first. My strength is still... No, my strike is still 12, and my strength is 8. Okay, rolling for him first, so 10 plus 5 is 15. I get 19, so 15 to 19. Puts him down to 2. 10 plus 10 is 20. I get 18, so 20 to 18. Puts me down to 6, doesn't it? Yep. Okay, 10 plus 6 is 16. I get 17. Yeah, 17. So 16 to 17. And that's the end of Mr. Rock. Okay, remove the buzzing. And we're back in play. Okay, so that's the end of that. We do defeat it, so 117. The bird crashes into the ocean and sinks from sight. Will you land on the island, turn to 49, or continue on your way through the straits and into the southern sea, turn to 15? We are going to land on the island and turn to 49. Oops. Okay. Dropping anchor in a steamy volcanic lagoon, you proceed ashore with your crew. The countryside is almost jungle, with thick foliage, exotic animals, and hundreds of thousands of insects. Will you head for the highest slopes of the central mountain, turn to 151, or stay in the lowlands, searching through the jungle, turn to 184? Okay, we're going to head for the highest slopes of the central mountain and turn to 151. So let's go there now. Climbing towards the mountain peak, you stumble across an enormous nest constructed from tree trunks and boulders. It contains 3 eggs, each as large as a man. It is obviously a rock nest. Looking inside, you discover the narrow opening to a rough-hewn tunnel leading into the mountainside. Just as you crawl in, alone, to have a closer look, a terrible flapping sound fills the air. The rock is returning to its lair. Your crew, still outside the tunnel, scatter in panic and run at full pelt towards the jungle. The rock lands on its nest with a squawk. You decide to follow the tunnel down. Turn to 78. Okay, only a short distance down the tunnel, you come across the bodies of half a dozen men. The marks on their bodies show that they have been badly mauled by some large avian, most probably the rock that attacked you. Will you search their bodies for loot, turn to 229, or continue down the tunnel, turn to 240? Okay. Okay, we are going to continue down the tunnel and turn to 240. Here we are. Okay, without warning, some massive and unseen creature grasps you by the neck and starts to strangle you. You slash out with your sword, and the beast emits a startled shriek and drops you. When you turn to look, you can see nothing but the tunnel. Then the creatures strike again, smashing you in the face with its invisible fist. So the creature strikes again. I think I mean the creature. Then the creature strikes again, smashing you in the face with its invisible fist. And for the duration of this combat, reduce your skill by 2 points. Invisible Striker, skill 7, stamina 6. Okay. 7-6. Invisible Striker. Strike. And again. Striker, skill 7, Stamina 6. Okay, and we have to reduce our skill by 2, so it's now 10. Okay, 7 plus 8 is 15. I get 18. 10 plus 8. So 15 to 18. Oops. Press the tab button. 15 to 18. Puts it down to 4. Okay, 7 plus 10 is 17. I get 17 as well. So 17 to 17. Does nothing. Okay, 7 plus 5 is 12. I get 18. So 12 to 18. Puts it down to 2. And then 7 plus 9 is 16. I get 19. So 16 to 19. That gets rid of the invisible striker, and that's that. There's no buzzing for some reason. Okay. Okay, 381 because we defeated it. Here we go. Oakley dokley. Okay, the creature, still unseen, ceases its attacks, so you assume it has been repulsed. Is it repulsed or repelled? Because there's repulsive. Because there's no such verb as impulsed, is there? It's impel and impulsive, like repel and repulsive. So I'm going to say repelled. So you assume it has been repelled. Continuing down the tunnel, you come to a dark cavern. Rough-hewn stairs lead down into impenetrable gloom. Beside them, a precarious-looking ledge climbs upwards along the side of the cavern, also disappearing into darkness. Will you inch your way along the ledge, turn to 265, or walk down the stairs, turn to 284? Okay, we are going to walk down the stairs and turn to 284. Here we are. Okay, you walk down for some considerable distance before seeing a light below. Creeping forward, you see 4 troglodytes emerging from a small side passage onto the stairs. They are all armed with spears, and 2 are also carrying a heavy chest between them. You slide between a large boulder to remain out of sight. The chest looks as though it might contain something valuable. So will you throw small pebbles further down the staircase to distract the troglodytes and split them up before attacking? Draw your sword and charge turn to 112. Draw your sword and charge the creatures, turn to 130, or use your sword as a lever to roll the boulder behind which you are hiding out onto the stairs and down to crush the troglodytes. Turn to 161. Okay, and we will decide what we are going to do in the next video. So I'll just note that we're on paragraph 284. So let's do that. 284. I should be able to finish this in the next video. There's not much more left to do. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you can join me for the next and, in theory, the final part. So thanks again, and goodbye.